Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Me and Jack here. We'd like to wish you a very happy Halloween period. Today is the first novel that we will be discussing during this magical time of the year. So join us if you dare. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is David. If you are new here, hi, welcome. And if you have been watching my channel for a while now, welcome back. Today is going to be the first book that I will be reviewing for the Halloween period, this magical time of October. So join me if you dare. So, if you wasn't aware, I am currently going to be reading 9 books during the month of October for the Halloween period. And the first book that I have finished, which I finished it about 20 minutes ago, is The Legends of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. I didn't actually read this on my Kindle, even though I have a copy of this on my Kindle. I listened to it on audio. I will put a link down below to the link on YouTube where I found the audio version of it and what version I actually listened to, if you want to listen to the same version I actually listened to, because I know there's numerous versions of it. So yeah, please check that out. So a little bit of backstory for Sleepy Hollow, or The Legends of Sleepy Hollow. It was originally published in the year of 1820, so this is a very, very old book. And the genre is a gothic horror. And now about the author, Washington Irving. He was the American author, and he was born on the 3rd of April, 1783, and he died on the 28th of November, 1859. So he's a very old author, and the book that I will be reviewing today is a very old book. Well, everyone is really familiar about the Legends of Sleepy Hollow and the Headless Horseman, because I actually watched the Tim Burton movie, which is simply called Sleepy Hollow, and yeah, everyone knows the Legend of Sleepy Hollow and the Headless Horseman. But today I will be hopefully going into it as much detail as I possibly can. So before I go any further, guys, I just want to say this is going to be a spoiler-free review. I'm not going to spoil anything about this book, just in case that you might want to actually read it during this Halloween period. And also, this is going to be my own thoughts and opinions regarding this book. So please remember that going forward. So what's the storyline for The Legends of Sleepy Hollow? It starts off by introducing us to our main setting. Well, first off, the whole story isn't told in a single character's point of view or from several characters' points of view. It is told from a narrator's point of view, where the narrator is telling us what the surroundings are like, what the woods are like, and what the wildlife is like, and the towns and villages and characters and how they interact with each other. And it's kind of like told from a third person's point of view. Also, this novel doesn't actually have, well, it's not a novel, it's a novella, because it's only about 100 pages long. It doesn't really have that much dialogue in it. Characters don't actually physically talk in this book. Well, they can talk in the world, you know what I mean, but in the novel or in the story, there's no lines of words that characters talk with each other. If there is, it's very rarely, and I didn't really notice it that much. So we're introduced to our main character called Ichabod Crane. Ichabod Crane goes to Sleepy Hollow, or this town of Sleepy Hollow. This town is very isolated. It's in a valley, and it's isolated and hidden away from the rest of the world. The people in this town kind of keep to themselves a lot. They like to exchange different legends and ghost stories amongst each other, and stories to try to scare each other and all that type of stuff. But they do like to have a drink and have a laugh every now and then. But they like to keep themselves very tight and in their town, you know. So Ichabod comes to Sleepy Hollow to be their teacher, or their school teacher, or their schoolmaster. Ichabod is a very caring, compassionate, loving, and good good guy. Although his physical appearance leaves a lot to be desired for. His arms are extremely long, his feet are big, and his face isn't considered handsome at all. But he has a good heart. He's a very good character. But he's a very weak character, if that makes sense. And whilst he's in the town of Sleepy Hollow, he is attracted by a young lady called Katerina Van Tassel. Katerina is, well, I hope I'm saying her name right. Katerina is very beautiful in the novel, but her character isn't really. She doesn't really have a character arc, and the character isn't really described to as much. Her family is more described to more than her in the novel. As her family, I believe they are rich farmers and they have a big mansion and they throw this party in the book as well. And we find out that there's a young man called Brom Van Brunt who is trying to pursue Katerina. Brom, think about Gaston in the Beauty and the Beast movies, but times that by 10. That is who Brom is. He is a very big, muscular, strong man. He is a hunter. He likes to be all manly and tough, and he rides a black horse, or I think it's black horse. He actually rides a massive horse called Daredevil, who is a very aggressive horse. It's also described in the novel how Brom wants his horse to be aggressive. He wants to have a very mean horse, an aggressive and strong horse to actually match who he is and match his personality. He doesn't want to have a weak horse for a strong man. He wants for them to be on the same level as one another. So during the time while Ichabod is in this village, Brom finds out that he is has got eyes for Christina. He's actually been looking at Katerina. Sorry about that. He's been looking at Katerina, and Brom doesn't like this, that Ichabod's trying to take away his girl and maybe be more romantically involved with her. So he probably confronts Ichabod as well. But we find out also that there's a legend of this headless horseman that's in the woods. We find out at the beginning that it does mention briefly, very, very briefly, about that the headless horseman was a man once that was a soldier in the war a long time ago that died by having his head shot off by a cannonball. A cannonball came at his head, ripped off his head off his body, and obviously he died, and his spirit came back in the form of a headless horseman dressed in black, riding on a massive black horse. And apart from the movie by Tim Burton, all the residents of this town are very frightened of this spectre. They in the movie by Tim Burton, they think that this figure is going out trying to cut heads off people that are living in the town. And in the book, this isn't so. It's more of a story that they tell each other when they're having a beer, in the pub or the tavern, or they're having a party, and they bring it up. No one seems to be frightened or scared of the headless horseman whatsoever, and he's certainly not going around chopping heads off people that live in this town. That's something that is never really brought up that much, or if at all, in the book. So that doesn't really happen in the book. So if you want to go into this story thinking that, it's going to be this headless horseman, and he's going to go chop people's heads off in this town with axes and swords, doesn't happen, guys. But it's a very good and heartwarming story. It tells you about what this town is like. Like, it tells you about how kids act in this town. It tells you about what the town physically looks like. And I cannot describe it, but it has a very autumn or fall theme about this novel. This is a book that you should read during the Halloween period. It's very short if you want to read it, or if you want to listen to the audio. As I said, I'm going to put a link down to the audio that I listen to. It's about an hour and 20 minutes long, so I would highly recommend that you read it or listen to it. Anyway, there's a party that Christina throws and in her family's mansion, and the family throws it as well. They go there, have a little merrymaking, and then Ichabod gets on his horse and he goes off and rides into the forest near this town. His horse is called Gunpowder, so I thought that was kind of a cool name for a horse. He and when he is going through this forest, he at night, I presume, he comes across the headless horseman, who is more introduced, or his character is not really explained. It's never explained about who he is, or what his name is, or his character doesn't have a like much explanation. All it says is that he was a soldier that got his head blown off by, or shot off by a cannon, and he's come back as this ghost or this spectral form. So Ichabod sees this headless horseman character or figure on his black horse, and the headless horseman chases Ichabod on horseback through this forest, and that's a really, really good, frightening scene. And I won't say what happens at the end because this is a very, very short book. As I said, it's only about 100 pages long. It took me about an hour and 20 minutes to listen to it. But what I will say about Ichabod, it doesn't end well for him. So this is a very good book, guys. I would highly recommend it. I don't want to spoil the ending for you, but that's the story of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. What did I like about this novel? I like that it was short, but I also like the character of Ichabod Crane. He's a very good and compassionate character, and I really liked him a lot. I like the descriptions that Washington Irving gave in this book. His writing is very old, but I'll go for that in a minute. But how he describes stuff, you can physically, when you read this book, you know that it's something that you have to read during this time of the year. I also like the character of this headless horseman figure, even though he's not mentioned, even though his character doesn't really have that much explanation or where he comes from or how this has happened. And that's what I liked about this story. And now I come to my dislikes. As I said, repeatedly in this video, the story of this book, because it was written such a long time ago, the language has changed from then until now. Although when I was actually listening to the audio, as I said, you can tell what's actually happening. You can understand what Washington is trying to tell us, but it's written in the old language. And if you've actually ever if you've ever read a old story and a novel written long ago, you know what I mean by that. But it's not really a complaint. It's just me being nitpicky. What else did I disliked about the story? It kind of dragged a lot. I wanted the character of the Headless Horseman to appear more in it and to be more of the center of the story, rather than being the town being the center of the story, and the Headless Horseman being a side character or an extra part of the main story, if that makes sense. I also wanted this story to be a bit more, I wouldn't say graphic and violent, but a bit more bloody and all that too. Because I was thinking this was going to be like the Tim Burton movie, but because this book was very short, I suppose that Tim Burton needed to add a bit more plot to it. But that's really all I have with my dislikes. Not that many dislikes in this story. So closing thoughts for this novel or this story. This isn't going to be for everyone. This isn't going to be everyone's cup of tea. But I would highly recommend that you read it or listen to the audio anyway, despite that. And then you can make up your own minds. But some people aren't going to get this story. It's going to go completely over their heads and they're going to think it's boring. Some people are going to love this story. But as I said, this is something that you definitely need to read or listen to during the month of Halloween. It's such a great autumn read, it really is, or a fall read, because I come from the UK and we say autumn. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that you pick it up. I think that I got my version on my Kindle for free because I got the classic version, or you can simply listen to it on audio on YouTube. That's why I put the link down below to make it easier for you guys if you want to actually listen to it instead of reading it. So yeah, that's my closing thoughts. And now I come to my rating section for this video. It's really hard to rate something as old as the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. It's because it was written such a long time ago. So how can you rate something like this, something this short? I was gonna rate it at 2.5 stars, but because I enjoyed it a bit more, I'm gonna give it a 3 stars out of 5. It's something that you need to maybe read or listen to twice to fully appreciate it, but when you listen to it first time around, you'll get the general idea. But I would probably recommend that you listen to it or read it a second time to have the story sink in. But currently, right now, I'm going to give The Legend of Sleepy Hollow a 3 stars out of 5. So that's it, guys. That's my first novel that I've read during the Halloween period. I love this thing, I really do. It's like a little voice box or a little sound box. I've only got 8 books to go. I can't believe I've used the word only when I, to actually describe 8 books. But I am determined to get all through them, guys. If you like this video, please give it a massive like and a thumbs up down below. Give me a comment down below as well to let me know if you have read this book, if you want to read it, if I maybe encouraged you to read it, and if I've inspired you to read it and pick it up, which I highly recommend that you do. Let me know if I've helped you out down below. Also, if this video has been helpful or entertaining and all that jazz down below. And if you like my content and this video as a whole, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. And if you do subscribe, please click on the little bell notification just so you know whenever I upload videos. I upload videos every Monday and Friday. And lastly, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep reading. And I will see you in my next video. So that wasn't too bad, was it, Jack? That was a nice little book, wasn't it? Yeah? I think Jack liked the story as well.